Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group. Today is Wednesday, August 27, 2025. Finally here, much anticipated Nvidia Earnings Day. So that'll come out after the close, quarter after four or so. And, everybody will be watching to see what the numbers are. From some positioning that I see, the implied move from hedging and options and dealer positioning, the implied move right now is about a 5 to 6% move. They're not saying which direction, but that's kind of way the setup is. Some other levels that I've seen is that if Nvidia meets or beats and there's no other hairballs in the equation, the 185 to 190 level is probably where it trades to, and on the downside, if they miss, 165. So I think that's kind of where you're looking. As I said, on Monday, I just can't imagine them missing, and I don't know whether the guidance kind of is softer or a little bit light. Who knows? But I just think that there's going to be, good news out of this thing, just how much is priced in. Another Nvidia nugget that I saw, this is pretty interesting, that it's estimated that $95 million every day is passively going in and buying Nvidia. So again, it's from 401k contributions and steady regular contributions that go into index funds or passive investing. $95 million a day is buying Nvidia and Microsoft is less, the top 10, but I thought it's pretty interesting. On a weekly level, that's $475 million that's estimated per month. $1.9 billion buys Nvidia stock regardless of what's going on. So I thought that's kind of interesting. Beyond Nvidia, we're going to have this past us tomorrow. If there's no huge reaction, I kind of anticipate that the stock market, grinds a little bit higher into the Labor Day weekend. That's historically how it goes into a long weekend. There's somewhat of an upward bias. And then after that, I think the next big signposts are going to be two of them: the Fed meeting and whether they're going to cut rates, widely anticipated. And then the other one to start preparing for is the September options expiration. It's a big one. It's a quarterly that involves futures and options on futures and like that. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get past Nvidia. And we'll be back on Friday to report on that. And thank you for listening. Have a good day. Thank you again.